Signal episode 31, let's travel back to 2008. The world was going through the global financial crisis. Markets were collapsing. Fear was everywhere. And it was during this time in an investment conference I met Nigel. Nigel was in his late 40s, highly educated, senior executive, successful career, truly accomplished. Most people in his professional cohort looked up to him, highly regarded, respected, and revered. Truly remarkable, dynamic, and futuristic in his thinking. But suddenly, and quite incidentally, his life reached an unexpected inflection point. A difficult divorce and market collapse took away most of the wealth that he had worked hard for. Everything was uncertain. Capability was not a problem, but at that point of time, confidence was. A shaken confidence that probably did not know how to re-begin, how to restart, how to make a comeback. But somewhere deep inside, Nigel wanted to change his situation. He wanted to turn things around. He wanted his future to look different. He wanted to reshape his life. The only thing that he did not know at that point was how. He was desperately seeking direction. I distinctly remember what he told me. It is painful. It is embarrassing. But for the first time in my life, I do not know where to begin. And me, being me, told him that this may be your today, but I'm sure you can rewrite your tomorrow. Worst has already happened. You cannot change that. What you can change is your future self looking back and not being in the situation that you are in today. And trust me, your tomorrow would be as creative and exciting as you choose to rewrite. And honestly, that was the beginning. Welcome back to Signal, where noisy markets meet simple, sharp, and sound insights for long-term investors. We began with humble steps in 2008. Small savings, small habits, and small discipline. We challenged our habits slowly and incrementally. Budgeting, structure, consistency. I must say that the first year was most difficult one, not because reducing unnecessary expense is difficult, but doing it consistently requires resilience and tests your conviction. Small investments, small confidence, and small steps. In 2009, the portfolio was still small, maybe insignificant for the life Nigel once lived. Each savings carried efforts, restraint, discipline, intention, purposefulness, and courage to rebuild, and hence was meaningful. And slowly the confidence started building. If I can save this much today, I'm sure I can build more tomorrow. By 2010, markets slowly started recovering, but more importantly, Nigel started recovering. What I noticed for the first time that Nigel was not reacting emotionally, he was responding with clarity. Maybe his journey from reacting to responding had quietly begun. And that shift was powerful. What I started noticing particularly that his investment decisions started becoming more intentional, structured, measured, and process driven. And then in 2011, discipline became a habit, and that habit built conviction. As 2012 approached, he stopped asking, "What if I fail again?" He started asking, "What else is possible from here?" He started seeing future again. By 2013, his portfolio grew sharply, and along with that, his confidence, conviction, clarity, control, and consistency all together started compounding. In 2014, Nigel purchased his home. Along with that, he continued contributing to his portfolio. And this balance shifted him from survival mode to wealth creation mode. By 2015, our conversations shifted from recovery to future possibilities. In the review meeting, we discussed his strengths, which was his capability, his experience, his discipline, his income, and his ability to create value. For years, Nigel believed and read that debts are dangerous and borrowing is bad. But I went on to explain to him that bad debts can be dangerous, but disciplined debts, when applied with structure, process, intent, can be powerful wealth creation tool. It was in 2016 that Nigel's perspective to gearing shifted and he started looking at wealth with more expansive, strategic, and possibility-driven lens. He bought an investment property, continued to add to his wealth portfolio. He leveraged carefully. People call it double gearing. I call it a disciplined strategic shift. Controlled, monitored, advised, a carefully managed equilibrium where disciplined habits, disciplined investing, and tax efficiency works hand in hand. As we moved in 2017, his investments kept growing, his equities kept compounding, along with the tax efficiency kicking in, better cash flow positioning, and more strategic understanding of how wealth could be created intelligently. It was in 2018 or 2019, life started opening again. Nigel met love of his life, and together they started building their financial future. And it was in 2020 that uncertainty returned to the markets again. But this time, fear did not control Nigel. Experience did. Fast forward between 2021 and 2025, wealth kept growing. Multiple investment properties, compounding equity portfolio, better cash flow position, tax effectiveness. A future that was captured and existed in first meeting notes had now become reality. I still remember showing Nigel the original notes, and honestly, even he could not believe how far he has come. What a champion investor he is. In fact, today people notice Nigel's success, wealth, and rebound. But what I notice is a man who refused to give up on himself, a man who believed, a man who trusted, a man who kept faith in the darkest phase of his life. I recently came across this reflection which perfectly captures and unfolds Nigel's journey. Before a tree grows towards light, its root must first grow deep into darkness. It's gravitropic, and then slowly it grows towards light. It's phototropic. And life is no different. Before people build the fruit system that world sees, they must first build the root system that nobody sees. The discipline, the resilience, the patience, the rebuilding years, the silent years. Perhaps that was Nigel's greatest achievement. Your past may be written and done with, but what you choose to repaint, rebuild, reimagine, recreate will always remain in your hands. And recently, during a quiet catch-up over a drink, Nigel expressed his gratitude for his financial journey. And me, being me, quietly smiled and thought, "Picture abhi baki hai mere dost."